So what we're going to do is we pick up our model and we'll just start to carefully apply this brown-black mix. At the moment I'm concentrating on the ailerons. It's so thin, the paint in fact is so thin that the first time you spray it along you virtually can't see it. And you can see how subtle that really is. What I'm also going to be doing though is to add a few streaks along the width of the wing. What you see on real aircraft is weathering streaks, mottles that aren't necessarily related to panel lines. So we're going to represent that on this model as well. We'll just very quick. You see how quickly I'm running that down the wing, and what that results in is once again quite subtle, but very fine streaks along the wing. And we'll continue to do that on the tail surfaces. So we'll give that a bit of a streak as well, tail surfaces. And what I'll be doing now is applying this thin mix once again along panel lines. Also, I'll be applying it on along the edges of structural features which you would expect to see shadows. So for example, the gun bulges on the top of the wing here and here, the natural shadow area in the wing root. The other area where this shading is quite effective is as additional demarcation between camouflage colours. So what I'll do is I'll actually run that along the camouflage demarcation between the 74.5 and the 74 grey and the 75 grey. Once again, you should keep in mind that you're not necessarily going to see the effect until you've been over it once or twice after the initial coat. You really do have to be careful not to overdo it. So make sure that you keep on checking your progress and stopping when you think that you've gone far enough. What I tend to find is, particularly around the engine cowling area here, the exhaust here area, is that's the sort of area that I like to really focus on, because that tends to be the area that gets grottier, that has oil stains, that has leaks, that have exhaust streaks that are leaking through the cowl panels and so forth. So you'll have more weathering around the front of the aircraft than you will necessarily on the rest of the aircraft. And that's really all there is to it. It's not a difficult technique, but it is a technique that requires a lot of practice in order to master.